it?
It was good. It was lazy, very lazy with the rain.
Did you get the email I sent you this morning?
I was just looking at it, but then I just logged in. Hold on. It said supporters argue against the buffer zone. Yeah, they took it to federal court. Did you hear that?
Oh.
Yeah. I'll see what I can find. Good to see you.
Who says his internet's not working?
What?
So I told him he can call your phone. He did not respond. That's that. That's going. Everybody's good to go.
How long is Facebook gonna take? Just 60 seconds, right? So why don't you pull us up and I'll do the boring part. Is Mike on? Morning, John. Hi, Mike.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Dawn Patrol. I'm Cliff Krieger, your host, coming to you from Lowell, Massachusetts. The producer's putting us up on Facebook. Oh, okay. So my co-host, Eileen Delrossi, is here on Zoom. How are you, Eileen? There we go. And then we have Mike Smith from Florida. And Fru.
Before I forget, is there more toilet paper?
Did I see what? I missed that. Today's 7th of April. It's a little drizzly out there.
Right.
It's cool, but it's not real cold. So, and we're going to have 2 more days, today and tomorrow, of rain, I think. Today is Friday. We celebrated the birthday of the late George Anthes, who first hosted this show. And today we remember his passing on this day in 2022. It's very sad. Looking also in other places back in history, in the year 451, Attila the Hun captured the city of Metz in France, killing most of its inhabitants and burning the town. In 1795, the French First Republic adopts the kilogram and the gram as the primary unit of mass. So the metric system, we can blame the French Revolution for that. Something that I thought from an educational point of view, in 1824, the Mechanics' Institution is established in Manchester, England, at the Bridgewater Arms Hotel as part of a national movement for the education of working men, which is sort of like my idea that Maura Healey and the General Court ought to establish a dozen more vocational schools And instead of waiting for buildings to be built, to put them in motels and get them going. 1862, the American Civil War, the Battle of Shiloh, the Union Army of Tennessee and the Army of the Ohio defeated the Confederate Army of Mississippi near Shiloh, Tennessee. In 1922, the Teapot Dome scandal, Secretary of the Interior Albert Fall leases federal petroleum reserves to a private company at really low terms. And this is a lot older than I thought. 1927, AT&T engineer Herbert Ives transmits the first long-distance public television broadcast from Washington to New York City. They were displaying the image of Commerce Secretary Herbert Hoover. I think my phone is ringing.
Here are some images of Commerce Secretary Herbert Hoover from the web.
Maybe it's Fru.
No, it was my phone trying to help me out. I must have accidentally brushed it.
Okay.
In 1933, Prohibition is repealed for beer of no more than 3.2% alcohol by weight, 8 months before the ratification of the 21st Amendment to the Constitution repealing overall prohibition. So today is National Beer Day. 1940,
You're drinking beer or shaving beard?
drinking beer.
Understood.
Yeah.
Why
Not-
okay, never mind.
1940, Booker T. Washington becomes the first African American to be depicted on a U.S. postage stamp. 1954, U.S. President Dwight D. Eisenhower gives his domino theory speech during a news conference. The domino theory being, if one nation falls to communism, then the next nation will fall, and then the next nation. In 1988, Soviet Defense Minister Dmitry Yazov ordered the Soviet withdrawal from Afghanistan.
And then the Americans thought, we can do better.
Yeah.
We lost too.
That's right. And in 1994, the Rwandan genocide began. The massacre of Tutsis began in Kigali, Rwanda, and the soldiers killed the civilian prime minister. Today in 1947, Henry Ford passed away, and he was born in 1863. Not a bad run.
He made Detroit what it was.
He what?
He made Detroit what it was.
Yeah. So, today's National Beer Day, and this week is Parkinson's Awareness Week. Parkinson's is a terrible disease, and we need to make more progress. So, I haven't really asked Mike how it is down in Florida. How are things in Florida, Mike?
The weather's been warm. It's been in the 80s. I know that's a little warmer than you guys have, but it's been good down here as far as the weather. No other issues that I know of.
How's the economy down there? Did you guys have gigantic protest, little protest over the weekend? I don't think you heard me. Never mind. Move on.
You broke up there, John. I couldn't understand you.
He was asking about the hands-off protests. He got off script for a second. Did you have any mass protests, AstroTurf protests down there? Against
You're breaking up. If it doesn't fix soon, I'll call you.
Yeah. I'm here. Give me a call. So,
Look, did you make it down to that
no,
cemetery ceremony?
cemetery ceremony? No.
They were protesting on graves. They should have stayed on the sidewalk. The Latin Whitney Monument.
Oh. Yeah. What can I say? Did you get video?
No, Paul. That's what Paul Boulay said. Look at them stomping on the cemetery. I know I didn't get video. But hey, the Democrats have a fantastic machine, and the Republicans go like, no, they don't. Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Democrats have a fabulous machine, and they're sore losers, very angry, and half the people didn't vote for this guy, and the other half did. I know I'll get arguments from, it wasn't half, near half. Near half. And
Yeah.
so half the country, near half the country's angry. Back over to you. I'll stop talking. I gotta fix cameras.
There you are. Hey, Mike.
Mike, you there? He's not getting it.
Yep, I am. The sound keeps breaking up. Should I call you?
Yeah, call me because also the screen's frozen. There it goes. It woke up. So,
Okay. All right, I can hear you now.
oh, okay. Well, then that's good. Did you have any protests down there on the peninsula?
Well, I didn't see any here in Largo. I didn't see anything in the news or hear anything about that. I'm sure there were some in Florida. I did see articles down in Miami. They had some, but I didn't see anything locally.
Wow. The headline in
George
the
Soros doesn't care about Florida. He only cares about Chicago and New England, or Boston, New York.
who's that cares?
George Soros paid for everything.
Yeah.
Because I saw I did see some people send me little aggravating. They think it's aggravating stuff of organizers telling everybody on the coach, the bus on the way to the protest event, what to say, what to act. The signs are downstate. The signs are with us. They'll be handed to you when you get off the bus. And how organized it was. And how many of those folks, not all of them, compensated.
Yes.
So,
Also, there was something about in Washington, D.C., they were not paying blacks to show up, but they were paying Caucasians. And for a city that's 50% black, there wasn't that proportion of blacks in the protest. So I thought that was...
maybe they figured they'd get them free.
Maybe.
And once one person finds out you're getting paid and I'm not, takes the helium out of your balloon.
Yeah. Well,
But I don't think anybody in Lowell was on, maybe some were on the payroll anyway. I don't know. I know enough to be dangerous. But
in Lowell, the organizers were not putting out the location for assembly to the general public on Friday.
they were afraid of protests.
What?
They were afraid of protests?
Counter-protests, yeah, I guess. You had to email in and affiliate yourself with the protest, and they'd tell you where to go. On the other hand,
Well, how was it the
Chelmsford,
TV
it was
Yeah,
straightforward.
because the TV cameras didn't cover it that much. Here and there. It was more on Facebook.
Oh. Well, it didn't reach, it was all gone by the time I was on the road. I drove from Drum Hill to Immaculate Parish around 3:15, and I saw no protests out on VFW Highway. Oh, by the way, we had the bishop for 2 masses this last weekend.
Hennessy.
Hennessy.
Well, where's the big guy?
He's down in Boston.
Well, what's the matter? You got no car?
Why do we need him? We have Hennessy.
He's the big guy. That's like saying, why do you need the Pope?
He's the he's the junior big guy. Hi, Mike.
Yeah, Cliff, the sound kept breaking up, so I had to call you. All right.
Okay, makes sense. So, Eileen, are you there?
No, Eileen's dropped off.
Huh.
Now everybody's dropped off. We're just on the phone.
Yeah.
I'll leave Zoom up in case somebody gets back.
Well, maybe she'll be calling in to us. So, Mike, have you been following all this talk about recession and the trade wars?
Well, I haven't looked at my retirement account in the last week. Yeah, I've heard about recession. We'll see what happens on how all the reaction is. It all depends on how quickly countries respond to these tariffs and how they respond to it. But it's not as simple as just agreeing to 0% tariffs, or if they charge 10% and we charge 10% and equal. There's a lot of ways that countries are cheating on the tariffs. I'll give you an example. China, what they do is they ship their products to Vietnam, and then Vietnam takes a label and says made in Vietnam, and then they ship it to the U.S. So that's how they're cheating around the tariffs. So, China doesn't pay a 34% tariff when they do it that way, because Vietnam, we weren't charging them any tariffs. So it's more than just getting the tariffs to be equal. It's also preventing the countries from cheating on getting around the amount of tariffs they have to pay.
I hadn't heard about that, but that makes a lot of sense.
So, countries like China have influence in some of these other countries where the tariffs with the U.S. are very low. So they just ship it there. Vietnam's a big example, because, a lot of people were probably shocked that, they're putting this big tariff on Vietnam, and they're like, why are they doing that? Well, that's the reason why. When I was reading an article and saw in the news that China's doing that. So it's more than just getting the tariffs equal. It's also getting the countries not to be cheating.
Yep.
Coming from the audience, I'll bet one of the protesters, I'll bet the majority of the protesters once owned a Tesla. That's from Jay. Jay, I found an interesting fact over the weekend. The number one selling car in the world in 2023 and 2024. I'll let you think about what that might be. The answer is the Tesla Model Y, the number one selling car in the world, 2023 and 2024.
Maybe not so much in 2025. Huh?
No.
That.
Well, Cliff, you drive a Lincoln, so if we're supposed to spray paint the flag of Australia on Lincolns, you're not buying a Lincoln. I don't want to get spray painted. The publicity that, no matter what make of car it is, if it's targeted by the general public to spray paint it, are you going to drive that car? I don't think so.
I'd have to think about it. Because you have to counter-protest.
When it hits you in the pocketbook, nah. I'll make a cardboard sign. and I'll maybe put it in your lawn. I won't put it on my lawn because I don't want to get spray painted. But when it comes to vandalism, nobody wants to be involved with vandalism.
It is a bad thing. And we had a lot of vandalism during the George Floyd demonstrations. Mostly peaceful, but a lot of vandalism. The going back to the economy, that I thought it was interesting that the markets are down, but employment, jobs added in March was 228,000, which is several tens of thousands more than had been expected. So to that extent, the economy seems to be doing okay. And prices of eggs are coming down. Prices of gas, I think, vary. Some places it's stuck. Some places I see in Greater Lowell, it's down. How is it down in Florida?
I don't know. I haven't really seen anything changing here right now. I mean,
How much eggs? Ask her how much eggs are.
Yeah, do you know how much eggs are?
eggs are $4.97 a dozen when I was in the store the other day. It was over $6 a month ago or more.
So in a lot of ways, the economy is doing okay for the average Joe.
The prices haven't spiked yet. I mean, if they're going to spike, I don't see that yet.
How's regular gas price?
We'll see. I know gas has been fluctuating quite a bit, and I've been reading on how oil has been dropping.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. The
Well, gas is $2.60 up here. What's
Yeah.
the gas down in Florida, Mike?
How much did you say gas was only $2.60 a gallon there?
Yep. It's in the 60s, 260s.
$2.60 or $3.60?
$2.60, he's saying.
Wow. Well, it's not that cheap in Florida. It's over $3 in Florida. The average, it's $3.15, $3.20 in that range. When I went to Sam's Club, I got it for $2.81 last week.
My wife pointed something out to me one day, that gas prices are a function of how far you are from the interstate. If you're right next to the interstate, they're going to be high. If you get a couple miles away, they'll be lower. But,
Yeah, I've seen that.
yeah. But, did you see we're up in Canada? The leaders of the Freedom Convoy who had been protesting the COVID lockdown, two leaders got convicted of mischief charges.
Yeah, I saw that article and looked through it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's taken quite a bit of time for them to settle that out. I mean, people here in the United States assume everybody else is the same. You don't have freedom of speech in Canada. That's not in their constitution. So, because they were protesting and doing that stuff, I remember that. It was, they could convict them of that as they chose to do. I mean, the rules during COVID were so ridiculous and unscientific. As far as the truckers went, it was ridiculous. I mean, they let truckers drive back and forth across the U.S. border by themselves to bring goods back and forth, but they wouldn't let Canadian citizens drive across the border, but they could fly into the United States. That made a lot of sense. You're driving in your car by yourself, so you can't infect anybody else, but you can fly on a plane with 100 people or more, and you can infect everybody. So it was just, the results of that were just crazy. And Trudeau you knew he was going to do something, or their party, because they were defying the Canadian government at the time.
Okay, we got a comment here.
Coming from the audience, don't listen to fake media. These are the same people who told us Joe Biden was on his game. That's from Jay. While I get the screen, 264 at AL Prime, out in Tewksbury, 264.
Okay.
Here in lovely Lowell, Massachusetts, $3 for regular. So you can save yourself 40 cents a gallon. Take a ride out to Tewksbury, pop into Donna's Donuts, have a good time. See you out there.
I'm kind of shocked that the gas in Massachusetts is a lot cheaper than in Florida. That does surprise me. As far as the thing with Biden, the floodgates are starting to open. It's only the start, but the books are coming out, the articles, interviews, all the stuff is starting. So there's going to be a lot more to come on that.
Yeah, I'm about 20% of the way through the first book, Fight. And there's two more that have been announced for release, one in May and one in, I think, July. So, yeah, it's really, and it's interesting how there was a lot of fidgeting in the Democratic Party in the week after the bad debate performance last year, but people were reluctant to jump out and call for Joseph Biden to step down. Yeah, not good. So today, as I mentioned earlier, is the anniversary of the Rwanda genocide. I had been hoping that Fru would be able to call in and give us some thoughts. It's 100 days, and one would have thought that after they finally got this under control that things would get better, but now we have this swing towards the war with Congo. Not a good thing. One of the things someone pointed out and I thought was interesting was the pro-Palestinian activists were largely silent here in the United States after Hamas reportedly tortured and killed a protester in Gaza. This was some young man who had 22 years old who was protesting about Hamas, and the Hamas people beat him for a couple of hours until he was dead, and then they dropped him on his parents' doorstep. His name was Uday al-Rabbay, R-A-B-B-A-Y. I don't think that we're going to get progress until there's freedom for people to express themselves in Gaza, and we're not there yet. So, did you see where the countries could hit the debt ceiling in July? And if we hit the debt ceiling, we can no longer legally pay our bills? I think
I may already be there.
We have going through this every year for I don't know how many years now that they keep talking about. We don't do this, we're gonna exceed our debt ceiling. They always seem to at the last minutes change things around. There's also the theory that with Doge saving money, it may be later than those dates.
Yeah.
At our debt ceiling. I mean, more to come on that. There's no way that the Congress is going to let us default. I mean, there's just no way they're going to let that happen, because they might as well all just pick up their stuff and go home, because they're not going to be in office very long. you know. So this is just the news media just whipping up everything with people. I can't believe that they would let us default.
You think that, the Democrats were pretty upset with Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer when he let the Republicans pass the budget, and there was talk of Sandy, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, primarying Schumer this year. You think the anger in the Democrats, the hands-off crowd, might be enough to force a total shutdown of the government in July?
I don't know if that would happen. I can't believe that all the Democrats would allow the government to shut down. Of course, they do have a little bit of breathing room in the House now with them winning those 2 seats in Florida on the special election. So they have a little bit of breathing room now. Not a lot, but they have a little bit.
Yeah.
Another thing is there's ways to get around what the voting majority is, because people, they can just say present. So Democrats who don't want to be held responsible for shutting the government down, they could say just present. A lot of people don't realize that in the vote. And so instead of needing 218 to have a majority to vote, it may only be 210, and that would give more breathing room to the Republicans. So I don't think a lot of people realize that the way they do voting. If you vote present or you're not there for some reason, you can then it changes what you need for the majority.
Yeah, that's an interesting point.
Eileen, are you still there?
What?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, perfectly. Now, did you send me an F47 NGAD link?
Oh, that was last Monday.
Okay, so I will disregard that. That go with
Let me
Cliff.
send you a couple of other things.
So, what the debt is 36, probably, I didn't check it this morning on the debt clock, but it's probably sitting around 36.69 trillion dollars. That's like $5,000 for every person.
It's only paper.
That's not only paper.
Yes, it is. It's faith.
And, but yet, when you have to have a wheelbarrow to take all that paper to the grocery store, it becomes a pain.
Well, we got rid of the penny. 2 comments from the audience. This is from John Curtis. He would love it if we just forgot about Joe Biden. He was your fearless leader, John. Joe Biden is irrelevant now. It's 2025, so let's move forward and keep our eyes on the ball. Not letting Biden off the hook. Okay, second comment. It sounds like a spending problem to me. Reference to the budget. Back to you, Cliff.
Yeah. John, Curtis, Texas, did you go to one of those hands-off demonstrations?
We lost somebody.
Yeah, we lost Mike.
That's it. Wrong button. String broke. He'll call back.
Anyway, John, if you went, let us know what you thought. All right. So, I worry about the debt ceiling. John thinks it's all paper money and doesn't count.
There you go. Good old Mike. Mike's back.
How are you?
I think somehow you hung up on me, so. All right, I'm back.
Okay. I had to rewind the phone.
Okay.
So, I saw where the World Economic Forum, those people up in Davos that wanted to have a great reset of the economic system, are getting their own reset. Their boss, Klaus Schwab, has had to step down. And there have been accusations of sexual hanky-panky. So that's not very good. I don't know how many people actually follow the World Economic Forum. Eileen, do you follow the World Economic Forum? So no Eileen. Okay.
Eileen's there, but probably busy dropping off Anthony at school or something. Cliff, I don't follow any of that good stuff. I watch international news, and the killing that continues over in Israel, Gaza, it's terrible. And Trump put it right, stop the killing. And the Russians don't want to stop the killing. The Ukrainians don't want to stop the killing. The Hamas don't want to stop the killing, and neither does the Israeli government stop the killing. And they cover, the media doesn't want, the European media didn't cover that at all. They're all got their nose bent out of shape with the tariffs. And I have not heard one media outlet say yet, if we drop our tariffs on the United States, they'll drop the tariffs on us. That's,
But 50 nations have made a bid to us to adjust this.
are they gonna get rid of the tariffs?
Yeah. Israel dropped the tariffs. Vietnam dropped tariffs. And we're making accommodations with other nations. I think that President Trump's efforts are paying off. Not in an instant, but fairly quickly.
Well, the media's not gonna report that.
Yeah, the media reports that we have a recession coming.
Yep,
They're looking at the fact that the stocks are falling. But
see, I look at that as an opportunity. Keep a if you're ever thinking of investing in the stock market, pay close attention. And as soon as this stock market starts to go back up again, put your money on the table then. That's when you want to buy in. This is an opportunity. Looking forward, keep an eye on the stock market. You want to get rich quick? Keep an eye on the stock market. It's going to continue to tumble, and then all of a sudden it'll solidify and zoom. So you want to get in when it's on the ground floor.
yeah. I did see that there's a chart out that I saw that showed that non-Caucasians are drifting away from the Democrats. And
Now, please tell the audience what you say a non-Caucasian is.
Asians, blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, or for Kathy, First Nation people.
Understanding better, thanks.
But single cat ladies are definitely Democrat, and that means there'll be less people getting married.
Who's mad at single cat ladies? So what? Women like cats.
Yeah?
Oh, by the way, while I'm on it, girls, I see all these ads out there. For deodorant, you don't stink. You smell great. Okay, so don't pay attention to those ads. They put it here, put it there, put it everywhere. They're just trying to sell you their deodorant. You smell wonderful. Just leave it alone. Thanks.
So, but the point is that marriages are down, and they'll be down more because there'll be more college-educated women to attend Democrat, and there will be fewer college-educated men who will attend Republican, and they won't get together. That's from John. No, I did not attend any of the protests. I think many attendees were progressives and radical leftists, of which I am neither. Destroying Teslas is criminal, and anything but peacefully protesting should be met with arrest and prosecutions. Yeah, I think that John Curtis and I are pretty close on that. Watching the mainstream news will result in your IQ dropping by 10 or more points. Good luck and have fun, Bart.
Thank you for your comment.
Who's Bart? He's not my former next-door neighbor that
He's
moved to
Good
Oklahoma,
old,
is
he's
he?
good old Bart.
Good old Bart?
I don't know who Bart is.
Oh. I was wondering if maybe it was my next-door neighbor who moved to, not Tulsa, Oklahoma.
If you sign, go ahead.
I'm sorry, Omaha, Nebraska. Moved to Omaha.
They got a nice song down there, Mutual of Omaha. If you sign your text, I put it up there. All I do is copy and paste. If you don't sign your text, your name ain't going to go up there. Sometimes I recognize the cell phone number that is texting in. It's always identified on YouTube and Facebook, but the cell phone numbers they're not signed, so I'm not going to put your name up even if I know what it is, unless you put it in yourself. A lot of people have reprisals at work. Believe it or not, some of these government jobs, there's reprisals at work for political comment.
Yeah, so what we find is that there have been swings. Blacks had a small swing from 2020 to 2024. A bigger swing between 1 and 8% from 16 to 24. Hispanics, those who identify as moderate, for instance, are like a 22% swing from 2016 to 2024. And Asians, an 11-point swing in the same area. So I think that that's a indication that we're seeing some changes in the. This is in Florida.
I didn't want to interrupt you, Cliff.
Go ahead.
This is 3 days ago. This is the president's new helicopter, going to land in Miami, and you get a good look at it. This is the new one that flies around with him. This is the first time I've seen it. Actually, he's on board in the new helicopter. And over the weekend, I saw the guy who runs China. His limo cost $250 million.
Billion?
Million.
Oh.
$250 million is what they put out on YouTube. Nice car. Doesn't look to be bulletproof. But they say, oh, it has technology. It has this. The doors ain't wide enough. But that's his new helicopter. I don't know what we're going to see here. But nice bird. How much more they got on this? Oh, this goes on for 8 minutes. So you can continue, Cliff.
Yeah.
We'll see if he gets off or they have any zoom-ins on it.
So the protests, the people in Tewksbury must have gone to the protests because they did not go to the polls. Turnout was less than 10%.
Mark Kratman won. Rick Russo won.
Yeah.
And Lindsay came in third. And I think it was Mr. Lloyd came in fourth. So thanks for tossing your hat in the room. Congratulations, Mark, and congratulations, Rick, on your big win in Tewksbury. Tewksbury will continue to be called the Land of Oz. And again, we're looking, video's 3 days old, and I'm just showing you the new helicopter the government provides for the president. And John Curtis is watching this morning. John Curtis, this is thanks to Joe Biden. Joe Biden ordered this helicopter. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, it's a nice helicopter.
Look at the helicopter. What do you call that? Side breeze there, taking all the water off the grass. Oh, that's another helicopter landing. Oh, maybe that's his. Boy, we blow a lot of dough on this, don't we?
Yeah. On the other hand,
See, yesterday I could tell the president's helicopter because it was the only one with the white top. Now he's got two with white tops. So you can't tell which one's the president's.
and that's probably a good thing, right?
Yes. Oftentimes the president's not even in the helicopter. There's a third smaller one that he flies in. He's not either one of those. When Clinton came to Lowell, that was a heck of a day, man. When President Clinton came to Lowell, when he flew in, they had the two big helicopters. He landed in a little helicopter. So he wasn't on either one of the big ones.
Yeah, but they probably want to have one of the bigger ones in case they have to.
Cliff, it's a gigantic, monumental waste. What do we need two for?
In case one breaks.
We can
Like within the last week, they went together aboard one of the helicopters. It had a flat tire, and they had to switch him to the other helicopter.
Well, how is it had a flat tire and nobody knew? They guard these things 24/7, don't they?
I would think so.
Didn't you think the guy would hear the air coming out of the tire of the helicopter?
Gee, I've never heard
Look
air.
at all those golf carts. I love golf carts. So again, this is 3 days ago, and I'm just showing you the new helicopter that the government provides for the president. That four blades? Yeah, cool.
Oh, what's four blades?
The helicopter. I thought it was 6.
That's what I thought.
Looks to be 4.
Yeah.
So they ain't opening the door yet, but those are the new helicopters. So you can proceed, Cliff. I don't have any more texts.
All right. So
This has another 3 minutes to go.
John mentioned that nobody wants peace. I think Ukraine would be willing to take a deal, but Putin's still agitating for a better deal, so that's going to go on for a couple more weeks. But I think Putin has irritated President Trump with his Putin's negotiating technique. So I don't know where that's going to go. The president's probably distracted a little bit by the tariff issue.
Now, the door is not a slider door. It opens like a car door.
With regard to Israel and Hamas, I think Israel would be happy for the war to stop, but the Hamas has promised that they're going to do the 7 October thing again and again. So for Israel, there's the question of how do you eliminate that threat?
You simply, as you likely remember, in Israel, everyone has to be in the armed forces. Every Tom, Dick, and Mary. There are a few exceptions, but my kids, your kids, they all have to be in the Israeli Defense Force.
Yeah.
when there's going to be a gathering of over 10 people, the Israeli Defense Forces there, enjoying the festivities with the folks that are having a party, but they also have those handy dandy weapons. And if you fight fire with fire, no one's bringing fire to you. There he goes. He's got his red hat on. Look at the golf cart parade. They put the glass down so that the cameras can see their face. Oh my God, these guys, talk about they love the showcase. No, that Secret Service is better for vision. No, it's not. So you get your face on camera. Waving to their kids. There he is with the red hat on, right here.
He is a showman.
He likes the show. This is almost over. Got like 10 seconds to go. So that was the president's new helicopter. Back over to you, Cliff.
So what do you think, Mike, about the peace situation around the world?
The peace situation?
Yeah, Ukraine, Russia, Hamas, Israel.
Well, there's always areas in the world that have conflicts. We usually are not involved, or the people in the news here are aware of the different conflicts that go on. Right now, because of all the protests and all the other things going on here in the States, more people are aware and involved with these different conflicts, whether it's in Israel, Hamas, or Ukraine and Russia. It's very dangerous, especially with countries like Russia, because they have nuclear weapons. And we need to figure this out somehow. We put ourselves in the Russian-Ukraine situation because we allowed them to come in and take part of Ukraine 10 years ago or whatever. So, in countries like Russia, they think that they still are the Soviet Union. They want all those satellite countries back. At least that's the thinking there right now. So we have to do something. Fighting and killing everybody every day is not going to fix the situation. Whether they like Trump or not, he's at least trying to talk or negotiate things. Neither side is going to get everything they want. They're just not. But, the Russia-Ukraine, that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I'm not sure how that's going to play out. Putin, if he gives in, he's in a no-win. He could be toppled from power. The Hamas-Israeli situation, Israel's goal is to get rid of Hamas. Right now, Hamas is still intact. So I don't know if they can actually get rid of Hamas. So we'll see what happens there. But I feel bad for all the people, the Palestinians in that area, because they're not going to, nothing good is coming out of this right now.
So Israel may be trying something new. They have a new chief of staff. He's a former tank commander, so he comes from the armored forces. Previous chiefs of staff had come from the special operations community. I have a friend who was an armor officer in the U.S. Army, and he thinks there could be a different mindset with an armor kind of guy. He's sort of a clear and hold kind of view rather than trying to work with the people. I'm not sure that's a step forward, but it was an interesting observation. There is the Palestinians, I don't think, are prepared to cut a deal. Here we go. Who's this? From Bart again. Watching the lamestream news will result. Oh, we've seen this before.
Don't remember it. Okay.
results in your IQ dropping 10 points or more.
Second one?
It's refreshing watching a president walk towards the helicopter who looks like he's going to work, not a ride.
Not a ride
at,
at Canopy Lake.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jay.
Over the weekend, I